everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's story is shaking global headlines. The United States has deployed nuclear-capable warships dangerously close to Russian waters. Defense analysts are calling this one of the biggest escalations in years, and potentially a fatal miscalculation. A dangerous new chapter in the war in Ukraine has begun. Many are asking how much longer can we hold our breath before a catastrophic mistake occurs. What are the chances that Vladimir Putin could make a desperate gamble on nuclear weapons or launch a tactical nuke against U.S. warships? These are questions that haunt the Pentagon and the White House as they struggle to de-escalate this crisis. But it wasn't always like this. Scene 2. Tension build-up. Military visuals. Before we get into the situation developing with the U.S. Navy and Russian forces, let's take a quick look at the current state of affairs. They've amassed a large number of troops near Ukraine, raising concerns that they might be planning another offensive. At the same time, they've been conducting military drills in Belarus and the Black Sea. Now, these actions by Russia have understandably alarmed many countries, especially those in Eastern Europe who feel threatened by Russia's growing military presence. In response, NATO has been bolstering its defenses in Eastern Europe, sending more troops and equipment to countries like Poland and Romania. This has led to a worrying increase in military activity in the region, raising concerns that things could potentially spiral out of control. In this high-stakes game of geopolitics, Russia's actions have been seen as a challenge to NATO's dominance in Eastern Europe. Many believe that Russia wants to reassert its influence over the region and prevent countries from joining NATO. NATO, on the other hand, sees Russia's actions as a threat to their security and are responding by increasing their military presence. The situation is further complicated by Russia's unpredictable behavior and its willingness to use military force to achieve its goals. As tensions rise and military activity increases, there are concerns that a small incident could escalate into a major conflict. The possibility of a miscalculation or a rogue actor taking actions cannot be ruled out. Everyone is on edge, waiting for things to potentially spin out of control. In fact, it was only last week that a Russian Su-27 fighter jet performed an unsafe intercept of an American RC-135 surveillance plane over the Black Sea. The U.S. Air Force's Europe Command called out the Russian pilot for performing what they described as an unprofessional maneuver. According to U.S. officials, the Russian jet flew within 20 feet of the RC-135 rivet joint and released flares in close proximity to the aircraft. This dangerous action by the Russian pilot put both aircraft at risk of collision. It's as clear that Russia's actions are becoming increasingly reckless and pose a serious threat to regional stability. The international community must call out these dangerous behaviors and demand that Russia act responsibly to prevent any accidental escalation. It is important that we maintain a strong stance against Russia's aggression and protect the safety of our aircrews. We hope that cooler heads will prevail and Russia will choose to engage in diplomatic solutions rather than resorting to dangerous military tactics. Scene 3. Global reaction. Russian warning. Amidst these heightened tensions, the United States has recently taken a bold step that has raised the stakes even higher. They've moved nuclear-capable warships right off Russia's coast. A move that has left many wondering about the possible consequences. Russia has responded with a firm warning, labeling the move as a deliberate provocation and promising to act with equal or even greater force if needed. This exchange has many wondering about the potential for conflict between the two nuclear powers. As we know, the relationship between Russia and the United States has been fraught with tension for several decades. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, which Russia was a part of, led to a new world order and a shift in global power dynamics. With the dissolution of the USSR, Russia found itself as the largest country in the world by landmass and inherited a significant portion of the Soviet military, including a vast stockpile of nuclear weapons. However, with this newfound power came challenges. Russia faced economic difficulties, political instability, and a sense of insecurity as it grappled with its place in the new world order. Tensions between Russia and the United States escalated further when NATO began expanding eastward, bringing its military alliance closer to Russia's borders. This expansion was seen by Russia as a threat to its national security interests and a betrayal of the assurances given to them after the dissolution of the Soviet Union that NATO would not expand eastward. Over the years, these tensions have manifested in various ways, including mutual distrust, arms races, proxy conflicts, and cyber warfare. Despite numerous attempts at cooperation and dialogue, the relationship has remained strained. More recently, the situation has become increasingly volatile. Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 and its involvement in the Syrian civil war have been flashpoints of contention. The current standoff over Ukraine is the latest chapter in this long and complicated history. The United States has responded to Russia's actions by providing military aid to Ukraine, imposing sanctions, and strengthening its military presence in Eastern Europe. This has only served to escalate tensions further and raise the risk of a wider conflict. Against this backdrop, the recent deployment of nuclear-capable warships by the United States off the coast of Russia is a significant development. It is a bold move that has left many questioning the intentions and risks involved. It is essential to understand the historical context and complexities of the relationship between Russia and the United States to fully comprehend the gravity of this situation. Now, let's switch gears and talk about something that has been making headlines recently: the deployment of the USS Kearsarge and the arrival of the Gerald R. Ford in Norway. Now, you might be wondering why these events are significant. Well, let me shed some light on it. The deployment of the USS Kearsarge is part of a larger strategy to bolster NATO's defenses in Eastern Europe amid tensions with Russia. The ship is equipped with advanced air defense systems, including the Aegis Ashore system, which can intercept incoming missiles, providing crucial protection against aerial threats. Its presence in Norway serves as a deterrent to potential aggression and reassures NATO allies of the United States' commitment to their security. On the other hand, the arrival of the Gerald R. Ford in Norway marks a significant milestone in the United States' efforts to strengthen its military presence in Europe. As the newest and most advanced aircraft carrier in the world, the Gerald R. Ford is a symbol of American power and resolve. Its arrival in Norway demonstrates the United States' unwavering support for NATO and its determination to safeguard the security of Europe. The significance of these deployments lies in the message they convey to Russia. The presence of advanced American warships and military equipment in Norway sends a clear signal that the United States is prepared to defend NATO countries against any potential threats. It also serves as a reminder of the consequences Russia may face if it continues to engage in aggressive and destabilizing behavior. However, it is important to recognize the potential risks associated with these deployments. The increased military activity in the region raises concerns about the possibility of miscalculation or escalation. The risk of accidental conflict between NATO and Russian forces cannot be ruled out, especially in such a volatile geopolitical environment. Moreover, the deployment of nuclear-capable warships adds another layer of complexity and potential danger to the situation. The risk of nuclear escalation, although low, cannot be ignored entirely. As the situation continues to develop, it is crucial for world leaders to exercise caution, maintain open lines of communication, and seek diplomatic solutions to reduce tensions. The goal should be to find a way to ensure the security and stability of Europe, while also addressing Russia's concerns and preventing a catastrophic conflict. Scene 4. Expert Analysis: The Stakes. The deployment of the USS Kearsarge and the arrival of the Gerald R. Ford in Norway have sparked debate among military strategists. Some see it as a necessary show of strength and solidarity with NATO allies in the face of Russian aggression. They argue that the presence of these powerful warships near Russian borders serves as a deterrent against further aggression and reassures NATO countries of the United States' commitment to their security. However, others view this move as a dangerous provocation that risks escalating tensions with Russia. They argue that the deployment of nuclear-capable warships in such close proximity to Russian territory could be perceived as a threat, potentially triggering a Russian response that could spiral out of control. One argument in favor of the deployment is that it demonstrates the United States' commitment to collective defense. By stationing its advanced warships near Russian borders, the U.S. sends a clear message that it will stand by its NATO allies and defend them against any aggression. This move reinforces the principle of Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, which obligates member nations to protect each other in the event of a war. Proponents of this approach argue that a strong deterrent is necessary to prevent Russian aggression and safeguard the security of Eastern European countries. On the other hand, those who oppose the deployment argue that it risks provoking Russia and escalating tensions in an already volatile region. They contend that the presence of nuclear-capable warships so close to Russian territory could be seen as a hostile act, potentially triggering a Russian response. The risk of a miscalculation or unintended consequence is too great to ignore, they argue. Ultimately, the decision to deploy nuclear-capable warships near Russian borders is a complex one with far-reaching implications. It involves a careful balancing act between deterring Russian aggression, reassuring NATO allies, and avoiding a dangerous escalation. Only time will tell whether this approach will succeed in achieving its objectives or contribute to further instability in an already volatile region. Scene 5. Regional and Global Risk. The U.S. military's presence in close proximity to Russia carries significant risks beyond immediate regional concerns. Spiking tensions with Moscow creates a ripple effect that destabilizes global security in multiple ways. First, it strains relations between the world's largest nuclear powers, increasing the likelihood of a nuclear stalemate or worse, a miscalculation that could lead to nuclear war. Second, it distracts from other pressing global challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and economic crises. The focus on the U.S.-Russia standoff diverts resources and attention away from these critical issues, hindering collaborative efforts needed to address them. Third, it threatens regional stability. By escalating tensions in Europe, the risk of a wider conflict involving other countries increases. The US-Russia standoff has the potential to draw in NATO allies and other regional players, creating a broader security dilemma. Fourth, it hampers international cooperation. The current standoff creates a climate of distrust and suspicion, making it difficult for the US and Russia to cooperate on crucial global issues. This lack of cooperation hinders diplomacy and undermines joint efforts to address common challenges. Finally, it fuels an arms race. The US military buildup near Russia could trigger a response from Moscow, leading to a new arms race. As each side seeks to enhance its military capabilities, it creates a cycle of fear and competition, diverting resources and increasing global military expenditures. In conclusion, spiking tensions with Russia through the US military's heavy presence near Russian borders poses significant risks not only to the region but to the entire world. It creates a dangerous distraction from other pressing global challenges, threatens regional stability, hampers international cooperation, and fuels an arms race. Finding a balance between security and cooperation is crucial to mitigate these risks and work towards a more stable and secure world. What do you think? Is this America's biggest mistake or a calculated power play? Let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of our latest videos. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more updates.